Have you ever reached the end of a long day, finally lying down, only to realize your body's exhausted but your mind is still running? Maybe you're trying to wind down or be present with your family or simply enjoy a quiet moment to yourself. And instead, your thoughts are replaying something from years ago or looping through a future scenario that hasn't even happened yet. It's like having too many browser tabs open all at once and you can't figure out which one is making all that noise. There's this belief that if you think about it just one more time, you'll finally solve it. But instead, you feel more tense, more drained, further away from the peace you're craving. This isn't just being busy, and it's not a flaw in your character. It's a mind that's trying very hard to keep you safe. And here's the truth that we don't hear often enough. You can't think your way out of an overactive mind. You have to practice your way out. In today's episode, we're exploring why the mind won't stop sometimes, and I'll also be sharing with you 5 practical grounding ways to reset when the noise gets a little too loud. Hi there, I'm Cynthia. A little while ago, I found myself at a turning point, tired of constantly pushing forward and feeling disconnected from myself. I decided it was time to try something new. That moment became the beginning of a very different journey. One that led me into deep rest and deep emotional healing through learning how to calm my nervous system. A couple of years and many lessons learned later, here I am, living a life that feels deeply intentional and more aligned. I created Ignite and Flow to support you on your journey back to yourself. Through NSDR, guided meditations, and calming wellness practices, I help you release overwhelm, quiet the mind, and reconnect with the calm that already lives within you. Deep rest, letting go, nourishing the mind, and learning how to truly love yourself are at the heart of everything I share. Because life is worth living, and you, my friend, are absolutely worth loving. So if you're ready to slow down, breathe a little deeper, and begin reconnecting with yourself, welcome. This is the Ignite and Flow podcast. Welcome back to the Ignite and Flow podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia, and today we're tackling a topic that I know hits home for so many people, the overthinking loop. We live in a busy world, and the truth is, whether we have a lot going on or not, we often find ourselves stuck in these mental loops. Thinking is not all bad, it's how we plan, how we dream, how we create. But there's a point where thinking stops being productive and starts being painful. It moves from solving to spiraling. Today, I want to share with you 5 simple wellness hacks you can use the next time you feel caught in a mental spiral. Whether you're an overthinker by nature or just going through a season of high pressure, this episode is your manual for finding quiet. Before we dive in, I want to share a resource designed for the busy mind. If you find yourself craving space to actually experience the quiet, the Calm Collective is for you. The Calm Collective is our online sanctuary for deep rest and healing through yoga nidra, non-sleep deep rest, guided meditation practices, and other wellness tools like journaling and breathwork and scripture meditations. Inside, you'll find a library of practices designed to soothe an overactive system and quiet the inner critic. So if you're ready to trade the mental noise for deep restorative stillness, I invite you to join us at the Calm Collective. You can head on to igniteandflow.com/Calm Collective to learn more. Why won't he just stop? This is a thought I know many people have asked themselves when they find themselves in that overthinking loop. First, I want you to take a deep breath and realize your brain isn't trying to annoy you, it's trying to protect you. Evolutionarily, our brains are hardwired to scan for threats. In the past, those threats were probably physical, like a predator in the wild. Today, those threats are often social, financial, or emotional. When we overthink, our brain is essentially saying, if I can just simulate every possible outcome, I can prevent pain. It's a survival mechanism, but the problem is the brain can't distinguish between a real life lion and a what if thought. So it stays in a high alert state, looping and looping, trying to find a solution to a thought that hasn't even happened. Here's the part we often miss. Overthinking is an attempt at certainty. We think that if we analyze the past enough, we can change it, or if we worry about the future enough, we can control it. But all we're really doing is keeping our nervous system in a state of high tension. Understanding this changes the game. You don't have to be angry at your mind for overthinking. You can look at it with compassion and say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I'm okay right now." That shift from judgment to observation is where the reset begins. It's moving from being inside the storm to watching it from the window. I want you to get the most out of everything I'm sharing with you today. If you're feeling like you need to slow down and center yourself, I invite you to Ignite and Flow's 3-day calm reset. This is a 3-day Yoga journey to lead you from mental chaos back to a natural state of peace. Over 3 days, we're using the power of deep breaths to settle your mind and replenish your energy. You can start your journey for free at igniteandflow.com/calm reset. When you notice you're in a spiral, it helps to have a tangible roadmap to bring you back to center. I've put together a 5-step process that can act as an off switch of some sorts for your stress response. You can return to these steps anytime you feel the mental noise starting to take over. Number 1, name the spiral. The moment you realize you're looping, say it out loud in your head or write it in your journal. "I'm overthinking right now." This pulls you out of the content of the thought and into the role of the observer. You are no longer the thought, you are the person watching the thought. Here's the thing, when we label our experience, we reduce the power it has over us. We move from the emotional part of our brain back into the logical part, giving us the distance when we need to breathe. Step 2, the 5-4-3-2-1 sensory check. Overthinking usually happens in the future or the past. We need to get you back to the now. Look around you right now. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, and 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Try it now. What can you see in your surroundings? You may be listening to this podcast while you're driving or walking. So what can you feel? The weight of your feet on the ground, the texture of your clothes. What sounds can you hear right now? This grounds your nervous system into the present moment. Number 3, the external unload, the brain dump. Thoughts can feel much bigger inside the small space of our skulls. Get them out. Grab a piece of paper and write down everything you're worried about or anything that comes to your mind really. Don't worry about the grammar or logic, just dump the noise. Once it's on paper, your brain feels it has stored the information securely, and it often gives you permission to stop looping on it. You're essentially telling your brain, "I see this, it's safe on the paper, you can stop carrying it now." Number 4, the 4-7-8 breathing pattern. We need to tell your body it's safe. So with this pattern, you're inhaling for a count of 4, you hold the breath for a count of 7, and you exhale through your mouth or your nose for a slow count of 8. That long, slow exhale is a direct message to your nervous system to switch off the fight or flight mode. This breathing pattern is effective at calming the heart rate. So if you're in a safe space, give it a try. Try it for a few seconds and a few rounds and feel the physical softening that happens. And number 5, the conscious pivot. Once you've quieted the noise, don't just jump back into the stress. Choose a pivot. This might be taking a yoga nidra practice, going for a 5-minute walk, or simply making a cup of tea, grabbing a book to read, anything else but where you were before, and ideally something that nourishes you in some way. When you do this, it's an intentional act that says, "I'm choosing peace over the loop." So, this practice and trying all these hacks and all these simple steps is not about trying to stop your thoughts forever. That's impossible. It's about building a reset habit. It's about you claiming your power back. It's about you choosing yourself, choosing to give yourself some compassion and some love, and trying to take your power back from the mind in that moment and say, "Hey, actually, I've got this." And also just signaling to yourself that you're also very safe in that moment. So, over to you. What is one area of your life where you feel the tabs are currently left open and you just need to find the one you need to close, or maybe just close them all? I want to encourage you this week, the very next time you catch yourself in a mental loop, try just 1 or 2 of the steps I've mentioned. You can either just stop and just name the spiral. You can just check in with your senses. You can also just brain dump, or just take a breathing pattern, or just take a deep breath and just pivot and focus on something else. If you want to take this deeper, I also invite you to explore the practices inside the Wellness Hub, inside the Calm Collective membership at igniteandflow.com. There you'll find a library of guided meditations, yoga nidras, curated to help you navigate these moments of overwhelm and guide your mind back to stillness. Your mind is a beautiful tool, but it's meant to serve you, not the other way around. You're the one who gets to decide when the thinking is done and when the resting begins. So let's bring your system back into that flow, shall we? In today's episode, we explored why overthinking is actually a survival mechanism, not a flaw. We explored the importance of moving from the content of your thoughts to being the observer, and our 5-step reset process. Name it, connect with your senses, dump it, breathe, and pivot. Thank you for joining me today, and remember, rest is just the foundation of your healing. If this episode helped you find even a moment of quiet, please subscribe and share with a friend who might have a few too many tabs open today. Until next time, honor your need for stillness, trust your journey, and know that you're enough just as you are.